Hello, and welcome to the Graphisoft Building Together event. We are very excited to share with you some interesting insights about the digital collaboration in the construction industry. I'm Tibor Szolnoki, Senior Manager of Product Marketing at Graphisoft, and I will be your host today. Let me briefly introduce our presenters and the agenda that we will cover today. First, Márton Kis, our VP of Product Success, will share some interesting thoughts about the status of digital collaboration. And then Pelin Haynes and Carlos Cordeiro, product managers, will join and talk about the different aspects of coordination, collaboration, and communication, both from the aspect of design teams and multidisciplinary teams. After that, Holger Kreienbrink, Director of Product Intelligence, will share very interesting news about our public roadmap. He will also talk about some upcoming solutions that will make this whole collaboration process much easier and faster. And finally, János Detre, our product manager responsible for the architectural domain, will join us for a live Q&A section. So regarding the live Q&A, this will be at the end of this agenda. Before that, there will be like 60 minutes presentation focusing on different aspects of communication, collaboration, and coordination in the construction industry, working hybrid, working from home, working from any location, breaking down silos in multidisciplinary teams, the future of collaboration. So this is a really interesting lineup. And without any further ado, I would like to hand it over to Márton Kis for his opening speech. Thank you.
A warm welcome to all of you being here with us today. Here at Graphisoft, our mission is to empower teams to design great buildings, contribute to our built environment with architecture that people love, enjoy to use, and provide opportunities for a far more sustainable future. Designing and delivering a building is a highly collaborative effort, where the success of collaboration may not only influence the quality of the design, but may also majorly impact what risks are taken on during the construction phase. To illustrate this, let me bring in an example. As a student in architecture many years ago, I was living across a construction site, which was a super interesting site back then for an architect wannabe. The project proceeded quite rapidly, but at a given moment in time, it came to a major halt, and for several months, nothing has happened. And then, the drilling started, which turned out to be due to a conflict between the ventilation system's air channels and the already built concrete structure. I'm sure all of us can think of several cases with similar challenges. These result extreme costs for all parties involved and can be prevented and managed through right collaboration protocols and tools utilized in the design phase. My question is whether such scenarios are less or more likely in recent times. So how can you minimize the impact of errors and maximize the chances of the desired outcomes? Based on our perspective, you will need to challenge the status quo by constantly pursuing more and more effective ways for collaboration, embracing all the technologies that can support hybrid work so that you can work with the right talent no matter where they are, and by breaking down silos that we consider a given due to existing habits, contractual framework, or just by reversing invisible communication barriers between teams, companies, or any other parties involved. To capture the current state of design collaboration, we worked with Stefan Waite and TechClarity. They carried out an independent global survey among AEC players using a various set of tools and software ecosystems and published an ebook. We will be sharing the highlights of the learnings here as part of this event, but you can also download the survey and delve into the details through the link we added below. This recent survey confirmed many of our assumptions, that still, in most of the cases, we are relying on very generic collaboration means in building design, such as email, sending PDF files, and so on. These ways certainly do work, being very democratized communication forms, but result quite a bit of manual workload, which is an error-prone and is an overhead for all individuals involved. The more and earlier you are able to involve project stakeholders in the details and context of the design, the better they can help you to drive the desired outcomes by considering all the necessary context, constraints, and having a self-service access to all project information. And the top challenges related to reaching the desired project objectives and outcomes also reveal the importance of communication and managing the information behind the planned structures. The complexity of projects is constantly rising, while the fluctuation of the workforce is creating constant changes in the environment where many of the contributors are external and would need proper management. So proper communication is key between all stakeholders. This rise of project complexity is very clearly highlighted in the survey. This means that by just following existing collaboration strategies or optimizing these might still set us up for failure in the long run. So major changes are required in the means of collaboration to be able to stay ahead of the curve. A key movement which can majorly impact the design space is the adoption of multidisciplinary design, for which the conceptual level is embraced by most. But the devil lives in the details, in the actual implementation and workflows between architects, structure and building services engineers, landscape and interior designers, and so on. These findings confirm and are aligned with the direction we are heading on here at Graphisoft, to not only create exceptional software, but also help connecting and onboarding design teams for better collaboration through a set of software and services that are available from either us here at Graphisoft or through our channel partners. We have a track record in focusing on collaboration. We were among the first ones to introduce and evangelize the concept of BIM, to enable model-based collaboration, and embrace new technologies to streamline the available workflows. With our solution, we are enabling all levels of collaboration and involvement for stakeholders of building design projects. Design teams can tightly collaborate in real time through our Teamwork solution, powered by BIM-cloud. Multidisciplinary teams can either natively work in our solution or have access to streamlined interfaces to their specialist applications. And any stakeholders can rely on open standards, backed by OpenBIM, that we constantly maintain and improve to ensure democratized flow of data. With Archicad, you can design and deliver projects with passion through a user-friendly interface that makes it super powerful and intuitive BIM software on the market, available for your platform of choice, whether it is Mac or PC. TDSCAD extends our solution to bring building systems and services even closer to other stakeholders in the building design process through its vast modeling and calculation capabilities. BIMcloud acts as the collaboration hub and glue between the application, enabling real-time, model-based collaboration and hosting all project data required during the building design phase, such as files and documents. And BIMX is bridging the gap between the design studio, the client's office, and the construction site, which is our presentation and collaboration tool for any devices you might have. We are proud to see the millions of projects that have been completed with our software solutions. Stay with us and learn how we can work together for building a better world. Now let me hand it over to Palin, who will be sharing our available workflows for hybrid teams.
Hi, everyone. I'm here to talk a little bit about how design teams globally work and collaborate in the digital world that we live in today. Combined with the hybrid work conditions, digital collaboration has become an important aspect of the project lifecycle and changed how the practices run dramatically. But with great power comes great responsibility, and therefore great challenges and opportunities. Change is great if responded in time and welcomed with open mind. Technology is constantly improving, working conditions are changing, people are moving to a more hybrid structure. With all these happening, standards and expectations are also increasing. Rapidly changing building regulations, BIM mandates, local standards, new building codes, energy standards also require architects and their design tools to catch up and to comply. All in all, these changes still require seamless business continuity independent of physical location. And that's where we enter the world of hybrid. When the world changed in 2020, Graphisoft immediately took action and offered its collaboration platform tools, Teamwork and BIMcloud, to their customers free of charge to help them move from the office setup to work from home safely and productively. At Graphisoft, we believe that the software must adapt to its user and not the other way around. We also believe that the tool must be flexible enough to accommodate the user's needs or the changes happening around them while still contributing to design creativity, complied with local standards and regulations. And this comes with its challenges, and bring it on. At Graphisoft, our main focus is to provide precision tools that make our products more flexible and intuitive. You work on the design without interruption, and the process runs in the background. Especially with big scale and complex commercial and public projects, the design requires close collaboration of many parties and teams. This comes with its challenges. Specialist design teams located in different offices or even different countries want to join the project remotely. Extensive teams of architects want to work parallel on the same project without conflicts, and they need internal communication within the context of the project. Each person have different skill sets, so this needs to be controlled with different access rights and clear responsibilities. And finally, huge project size implies long data send and receive times, so we need great performance to save time and money. Graphisoft's BIMcloud is a notable example of how we tackle these challenges and innovate workflows in this area. So let's see how it works. Digital working platforms are and will be essential for all design firms. With different stakeholders responsible for different aspects of design, there is a need for a shared resource where data lives while the work is in progress. At Graphisoft, the concept of an open design hub where models and data are located and accessible from everywhere or anywhere at any time is already a reality that we continue to enhance. You can have multiple teamwork projects and multiple teams working together and communicating uninterruptedly via different tools and file types. And you have a variety of choices for this service model. You can keep it locally as an on-premise software, and either you or your IT team can look after it, or you can take advantage of the software as a service model with the tools accessible anywhere, independent of dedicated local hardware or update hassles. So both the data and the software are always available where and when you need them. Graphisoft is continuously innovating in this area, having started with BIMcloud already offered as a software as a service solution, as well as our core product Archicad being regularly used today in a virtualized environment. But how does it work? Teamwork with BIMcloud enables real-time and secure teamwork between all disciplines, regardless of the size of their design projects, the location of their offices, or the speed of the internet connection. It is easy to use, so it does not require IT skills. Team members can reserve parts of the project that they work on so that everything is exclusive to them. Design, make their changes, and then send and receive these changes simultaneously. With Graphisoft's patented data technology, this sharing and collaboration is ultra fast on any network, and teams located across continents can work together on large projects without hassle or delay. BIMcloud establishes an instant collaboration platform by instant messages and screenshots and markups with the BIMX app, which we will take a look at later on. And additionally, architects can even work on the go on a laptop at a remote location without any internet connection. Once back online, they share their work with the others and receive the latest changes and the updates from the other members of the design team. And finally, for a peace of mind, project snapshots and server backups are created automatically on a regular basis. And our users all around the world are loving it and taking advantage of the technology to its full capacity. A great example would come from our Australian client, Vander Katsalidis, and their project in Malaysia, the Merdeka Tower. It is a 118-story tall building, so it's the second tallest building in the world and the tallest building in Malaysia. The design is directly integrated with the rail networks in the city and contributes greatly to the public realm with its external urban spaces. With its intelligent structural design, the client gets more usable space and the building reduces both environmental impact and cost. But how did all these happen? The project was designed, constructed, and delivered with the collaboration of several architectural partners and stakeholders, as well as structural, civil, geotechnical, and MEP engineers from different parts of the world. On top of the great architectural design capabilities and flexibilities, the architectural team were able to prepare their model for structural analysis by the engineers, for example, and document and extract information of the modeled elements to explain the design to other stakeholders and for easy manufacturing. As you can see, the communication and collaboration were the key elements. Archicad, as an architectural tool, is design and documentation focused. It is so flexible that the architectural team created their own data-driven library parts that was crucial to the design and the structural integrity. With these library parts, they were able to document their ideas, feed and extract information when needed via interactive schedules, and update them regularly with feedback provided from the other teams, so the communication was seamless and uninterrupted. With the flexibility of the tools, the architects were able to make amendments to the design so easily and quickly, still not completely compromising their design ideas, but contributing to the structural integrity, following the embedded models from the engineers, which also constantly kept updating. After all the models put together, communicating their design features via visuals, overlaid by the document sets, applying different filters and level of details were such a natural part of the design workflow in Archicad that it was extremely easy to avoid mistakes, especially in details in such a big project like this. The whole office, from the start, were really excited about the prospect of teamwork and what it would mean to their organization. It had brought a whole different perspective to the way that they worked originally and encouraged them to transition to a more collaborative and open workflow for their projects. With the new Archicad Collaborate product at Graphisoft, users can now take advantage of both Archicad and BIMcloud software as a service subscription for the price of an Archicad subscription only with one package. This not only saves you money, but also gives you confidence and peace of mind when using the product because of no IT requirements for BIMcloud installation. Let's not forget our powerful BIMX app, which helps Archicad users present and visualize their 3D models along with their 2D documentation. It is available for both iOS and Android platforms, and most importantly, it's free. You have a variety of options to choose from: desktop viewer, web viewer on a browser, or the application itself on your phones or tablets. No matter what size your project is or how complex it is, the streaming technology in BIMX will allow users to walk through or navigate through the project with such ease and speed. Users can control lots of settings within the app via sliders, such as field of view, sun position, along with shadow castings, and many more. They can switch between the 3D model and the 2D documentation sets with smart hyperlink markers. And these could be the traditional plan sections or elevations, as well as interactive schedules or element lists. And they can change the height of the cutaways as they like. They can highlight a particular element, zoom in on it, and view the attached element information. So overall, this is a great tool to present your models with your clients or other stakeholders in the project. With ongoing developments, Archicad users can integrate BIMX files into their collaborative workflows. On top of extracting the 2D documentation, such as plans, sections, elevations, and details, they can interlink the 3D model with the correct allocated view and create 3D cutaways to further analyze intricate details. BIMX files can be linked to the BIMcloud, so when on site, any team member can take a screenshot, markup, message the others in the office instantly, and once the changes are applied by their team members, they can get the updated model with only one click. How about the AR and VR technologies that bridge the digital and physical worlds? They create immersive virtual environments in which the clients can experience buildings, its surroundings, and interiors as if they were there in person. Taking this one step further, how can we connect our Archicad models to the other available virtual platforms out there? Archicad already has the capability to export as several popular file types such as SketchUp, 3ds Max, and Cinema 4D. On top of these, we can now also export the FBX format, which is an adaptive file format that communicates between several digital content creation applications. This can be linked to the VR Studio BIM Cave via Unity's add-on, and users can enjoy using their favorite toys, VR headsets such as Oculus Rift, to walk within their projects. Another aspect of collaborative workflow is the quality assurance. Multiple people working in one project can sometimes be difficult to manage, depending on the complexity of the project, the number of users, or even the skill sets of the users. While this might sound scary, several tools within Archicad will help the users achieve their office quality easily and have a healthy project that they can share with the others at the same time. Here, I'd like to focus on the 3 different levels of quality assurance. The first one, and a great example, is the visual graphic overrides. With the help of this powerful tool, Archicad users can create as many rules as they like and graphically override elements following these rules. Let's take the fire strategy drawings, for example. The project might be split between several users, and each user might have placed their own doors into their allocated areas without thinking about the data attached to them. This information is still crucial for the other stakeholders at a later stage, so how do they check this? While there are other commands or tools in Archicad where you can double-check and update this information, such as element schedules, as architects, we might want to visually observe where these problems occur and reassure ourselves once fixed. Graphic overrides help us achieve this. Whether it's a fire rating check or a simple layer or classification check, graphic overrides help Archicad users collaborate with a healthy model with accurate data attached. The second level within the quality assurance workflow is the integrated collision detection within Archicad. This quick and easy-to-use tool helps Archicad users check for collisions between two groups of elements, highlight them visually, and mark them up if necessary to be sent and assigned to the relevant teammate. If used externally, users can run this tool between construction and the MEP elements, for example, and then mark up the clashes, create BCF files, send these back to the engineers, then the engineers make their changes, send the updated file back to the architect, and happy days. Internally, within the design team, the collision detection tool can be useful when checking the headroom clearances for escape routes or staircases with defined tolerances, for example. So as you can see, this is a very useful tool to achieve your office quality without any headaches or effort. And the third and the final level is via Solibri connection. With our sister Nemetschek brand Solibri, users can combine models from different disciplines and run highly advanced clash and quality checks on the federated model following the BIM requirements and regulations. They don't even need to import-export models. They can directly link their Archicad projects to Solibri via Solibri Inside Palette. The connection is live and easy to use. Once it's established, Archicad users can provide consistent and validated data throughout the project to all the involved parties, both in the office and on-site. They can map, visualize, and report data and assign issues effortlessly and ensure high-quality control in their BIM process. Well, this was it from me. I hope the presentation has given you a good insight of the challenges, opportunities, and Graphisoft solutions for a successful design team collaboration. Thank you very much for your attention. And I will now hand it over to Carlos to talk about breaking down silos for an open multidisciplinary design.
Hi everybody and welcome. Even though I did not bring a hammer, I'm here today to tell you how Graphisoft is breaking down the silos for a better multidisciplinary design and collaboration. A few years ago, I was working as a structural engineer in a purely engineering office. It was a regular business day, and I was calculating a residential space, such as this one, a living room which had an upper floor. For structural reasons, I needed to have a column to sustain this upper floor. What I did not know at that time was that my architectural counterpart has already agreed with his client that this living room would be a complete open space. Needless to say that this simple column generated large discussions between all the parts involved while things were actually being built. And of course, an unhappy client. This is just one of the multiple examples I could tell you today that proves collaboration is key in the AEC industry. But for a good and efficient collaboration, we need 3 ingredients. The right language, let's call it this way. The right tools, which can be characteristics of all BIM design authoring tools. And lastly, the right mechanisms or processes. Each of these components take important and critical part when AEC professionals choose their BIM tool provider. Open BIM approach is part of Graphisoft's DNA, because an open standard like IFC is the right language to collaborate across solutions. Since 1996, Graphisoft supports the latest IFC schema, and in a lot of cases, it's even ahead of the market needs. But open means much more than IFC. The AEC industry spins around a variety of file formats, and some of them take an important role while collaborating across different disciplines. Let me give you some examples of this. FBX is widely used to exchange information for high-end visualization purposes. SAF is one of the recent open sources format that specifically carries information related to structural models and analysis. DWG is still one of the most used files to exchange 2D information, and finally, SHP, commonly used to exchange geo information. Good news are the workflows using these files are already possible with Graphisoft Solutions portfolio. A wide range of countries are moving towards implementation of BIM mandates, and as you can see in this illustration. Just to give you an example, recently I had an opportunity to visit Singapore, and during meeting with some customers and our colleagues there, I got the information that the country is moving to a different submission approach based on IFC. Even though we are months ahead of this, Graphisoft is already prepared to comply with such requirements. And if we look back 10 years ago, Graphisoft customers were already efficiently working across these different disciplines using open BIM workflows. If I geographically move to a closer location, right here in the center of Budapest, a recent project was designed using Graphisoft solutions together with other based on open BIM workflows. This was possible not only using native functionalities within the Graphisoft ecosystem, but also connecting and collaborating with solutions for other disciplines such as structural and MEP engineering. Let me show you how. The architectural model was designed in Archicad. From the architectural model, structural engineers could perform structural analysis using one of the solutions that uses SAF, an open source file format that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. The building systems were designed using the MEP modeler, which is an out-of-the-box solution right in Archicad, in close connection with other tools. In the end, all the coordination was possible thanks to Solibri, a widely recognized quality assurance solution from the Nemetschek group. And the best, they could show great results to their client using BIMX, right from their mobile device. At Graphisoft, we keep challenging our own thoughts and discovering new ways to improve the AEC industry. That's how the integrated design approach was born. But what is integrated design? Simple. It's a multi-brand solution for architectural-led multidisciplinary teams. By now, this is usually the time when the question arises: how Graphisoft advocates for open BIM and at the same time promotes an integrated design approach? Fair question. And the answer is fairly simple, but complex at the same time. These approaches complement each other. Let me explain. The reference model approach is proven to work. However, is also proven to be still quite time-consuming, in particular during early design phases with constant changes. If you recall what I mentioned in the beginning, for an efficient collaboration, we need 3 ingredients. I started by talking about the right language, the open BIM approach, and the variety of supported file formats. Let me give you now some examples on the right tools and mechanisms. Having one model which contains not only the architectural but also the structural perspective has been a dream for many years. Some tried before and didn't succeed, either because was resulting on duplication of elements or because the right workflow was not in place. With Graphisoft solutions, this is now possible thanks to integrated workflows between structural engineers and architects, where not only the needed information is there, but the burden of collaboration is eased with innovative automation tools for tracking and change management. And coming back to the right language, here is an example of how the right file format can really unite different global solutions around the same concept and workflow. And I can tell you that this list here keeps increasing almost every month. The technology is here to help us. And these tools are the proof of that. Being aware of the right information at the right time is key for an efficient collaboration. Graphisoft solutions offer powerful technology that can automate the notification of changes and track what is happening with the relevant information for each discipline individually. And thanks to the support of BCF, this can even be extended to other solutions in a simple and smooth way. Another very important stakeholder in the design process is the MEP engineer. We all know that building systems are usually on the scale of thousands of elements, containing extensive product data needed for their specialized calculations. So, how Graphisoft is breaking the silo with MEP? You heard about this one a little bit ago already. The MEP Modeler is a dedicated design tool for building systems, fully integrated in Archicad, that allows not only modeling from 2D drawings as a reference, but also enables a full BIM-oriented workflow, where the systems can be designed directly in 3D with dedicated tools and with access to element information. And the best part is that MEP engineers can quickly get their bill of quantities of components and visualize their systems in integration with architectural and structural models. But similar to structural engineers, MEP engineers also need more than just design. Highly specialized calculations are needed, and the Graphisoft ecosystem has a solution for that. DDS-CAD provides all the needed calculations and reports for all domains such as ventilation, electric, and sanitary and heating. And as I keep mentioning, the right process is also in place here. A complete integration not only with Archicad as authoring tool, but also with our collaborative platform BIMcloud and our award-winning BIMX for presentation and coordination. As you can see, there are a lot going on breaking the silos of multidisciplinary collaboration. But we are not alone. As part of the Nemetschek group, Graphisoft provides an innovative BIM authoring tool that connects and collaborates with a variety of other powerful solutions. From structural engineering solutions, quality assurance, document management, space planning, and many, many more, investing in Graphisoft as part of the Nemetschek is investing in a set of full-fledged solutions which are future-oriented and at the same time open, so you can still work with your preferred tool if you wish to do so. Worldwide recognized firms, such as Coty Parker Architects, decided to embrace this journey and create Queen's Wharf in Brisbane. Let me show you how they did it. A gigantic $3.6 billion project built in the center of Brisbane was created thanks to Nemetschek solutions. From a complete 3D model up to the smallest detail, such as customized facade, all done in Archicad. Then, quality assurance powered by Solibri, and the results sent to the stakeholders and coordinated using Bluebeam Revo. Thanks to this, all comments were easily spotted. And for space planning and management, nothing better than the Rufus. So, breaking down the silos and achieve a better multidisciplinary collaboration is no longer a dream. It's a reality. And we at Graphisoft are equipped to show it to you. So, join us in this journey and let's challenge the status quo together. Reach out to us and let's start working today with innovative workflows. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, let me pass the word to my colleague Holger, who will tell you more about how you can embrace this journey with us. Thank you.
The very first Archicad version I used was version 5. And you know what got me at that time? It just worked. I installed it and boom, I could do all my designs. And of course, that version was a little bit different from today. And of course, the way of working was different. And this brings me to what Martin presented. Communication is key. Nearly all design teams are lacking a proper communication and a good way to really work together. And why is that? Because we stick to typical ways of communication. Email, redlining on paper, plans, or PDFs. But there are other ways, and we as Graphisoft are bringing them to you. The complexity of projects is another task that all designers have to manage. And here you see one of the reasons why Graphisoft is going multidisciplinary. We are supporting you to overcome the classical borders of your disciplines. Because we want to help you to communicate and collaborate better than ever before. So, the title of my speech is The Future of Collaboration. But it could also be the future of our products like Archicad, BIMcloud, DDS-CAD, BIMX. And it could also be what is the future and what is the plan? Let me quote Antoine de Saint-Exupéry here. A goal without a plan is just a wish. And I'm happy to show you our plan. Our plan is visible on our webpage, graphisoft.com. It is our public roadmap, and I'm happy to share it with you. But before we dive into this, what is a roadmap? First of all, it is a living document. It lives, it changes, it evolves during the time. And why is that? Well, we meet every 3 months and discuss and review the status. Are we on track? Is the roadmap up to date? Do we need to adapt to anything? The world changes, and we need to be aware of these changes. And that can be anything. Computing, economy, global situations like we have today, or ChatGPT, for example, and many other things. Our roadmap shows 4 categories. Soon, that means you will get these features soon. You don't have to wait that long. In progress, we are actively working on these kind of things, but these might be projects that take a little bit longer and will not reach the next version. Or they consist of various smaller projects that aggregate to a bigger one. In research means we are actively in the finding phase. This is the phase where interviews are made and our teams are collecting all kind of input. And finally, the idea pool. A lot of good ideas which we think we should do next. And underneath these categories, you will find your disciplines: architecture, structure, and MEP. And that will give you the ability to filter based on your profession. And how does it look like? And where can you see it? Very easy. On graphisoft.com. Just browse for solutions and you will find it. But wait. Before you open another browser window and check the roadmap, let me highlight some of the entries. This is a very personal selection and you will find much more on the roadmap. Design options. We will give you the ability to work on design options inside Archicad without any workarounds like layer combinations or copying the whole model. FBX is the de facto standard for all kinds of visualization engines. A lot of content is also available in that format. We are researching a feature called Keynote. This is a database-driven approach to handle documentation. And you have seen we have made developments for attributes in 26, and we will do more in 27. And this all points to a central attribute management. Skin level modeling is needed for a more complex situation where a composite might not be the final solution. And as architecture gets more and more complex and vivid, the door and window tool should be able to follow this trend. For structural engineers, we deliver the option to fine-tune the analytic model manually if needed. And with our sister brands Skia and Freelo, we have developed a one-click connection. No need to save a file anymore. And structural engineers want to do more in Archicad. And this is why we are researching the way a structural documentation has to be. For MEP engineers, we are working on streamlined MEP routing in Archicad. And that goes together with a calculation API, because we know that these are different in various countries. And of course, we are enhancing DDS-CAD electrical continuously. And as we are researching structural documentation, we are also researching the MEP documentation. And we are working on the duct and pipe sizing possibility. And there's more. I like the issue creation in BIMX very much. You create an issue in BIMX and it will appear on your project. For security reasons, we are coming up with a multi-factor authentication. Issues should be handled on BCF servers, so let's connect to them. And BIMcloud, with its computing power, should be used for Archicad tasks. I also like the AI, VR enhancement ideas for BIMX, but maybe a little bit more the idea of letting BIMcloud do migration tasks. So, you will find a lot of stuff, and we hope you will find very useful features and ideas for your profession. By the way, this is not the first version of our roadmap and not the final one. We want to enhance it in the future to get in contact with you, to discuss ideas, and to create a voting system and other languages, and to collect wishes. And we are working on that in the background. But this is not all. You surely want to know what the near future will bring to you. And for that, let me share you our new development and release plan. The whole cycle has changed. In April, we are releasing the public roadmap. In June, we will release the beta versions of Archicad and DDS-CAD. And on the 14th and 15th of June, we will host another building together. The beta period will end in July. And this is when we will release a technology preview. And you might ask, what is the technology preview and why such a long period? Well, within this period, we will find and fix bugs. And you will be able to test and learn the software, change and migrate your template, and figure out how to include the new features best in your workflows and projects. And we are shifting to an industry standard release date in autumn. And then in September, we will release the final versions in a majority of the languages. And the Building Together Connect will take place. The last Building Together for 2023 will happen in November. And the whole time, we will develop further on and provide you with updates. BIMX and BIMcloud will have continuous updates and developments.
Thank you, team. Let me wrap up this presentation before we dive into the live Q&A session. So we have seen that being able to adapt to changes is more important than ever in our globalized digital world. And the same applies for the construction industry as well. So collaboration, coordination, protocols, communication is absolutely key for efficiency. But how can you switch to this more efficient new digital BIM workflow? And for that, I lined up a few slides. I would like to show you how Graphisoft helps you to get on board with BIM solutions and being more efficient with communication collaboration. First of all, I would like to draw your attention to your Industry Insight e-book, which we published together with Tech Clarity. This is available free of charge. Just use this QR code or the short link. You can download this digital book and you can get interesting industry insights about what's happening in the construction industry regarding collaboration, coordination, and how the different players approach this problem. So changing to an open BIM collaboration workflow is easy with our product solutions and ecosystem. We have created a dedicated website for you where you can find all the info that you need for this journey. And it's not just the free downloadable Archicad version, the trial version that you can get there. But you will also find the link to the Learn portal, which will have a full onboarding learning material. And also we have a dedicated YouTube channel with nice onboarding videos. So I highly encourage you to go there, use this QR code or the short links. And of course, an architectural office or a multidisciplinary office is something like an orchestra. Every orchestra needs a conductor. And in an architectural office, this is the BIM manager. And we have a very successful BIM manager program running for many years now. The next BIM manager training is already lined up for April. If you would like to apply, use this QR code, and we will be very happy to talk to you and get you certified. If you liked our solutions and if would you like to use it yourself, we have very flexible licensing options for you. On this website, you can compare the different subscription options, but we will also have much more than that. Talk to our local resellers, and they will be very happy to share with you all our licensing options available. And we are also looking forward to see you on our next event. You have today seen that we have Building Togethers coming in every quarter, and the next Building Together event is scheduled for the middle of June. So if you would like to come, use this QR code again, go to the Building Together website, reserve your seat, and we will be very happy to show you our upcoming solutions. For instance, Archicad 27 will be showcased the first time, but there will be many other interesting topics about design. So please come and enjoy an interesting presentation from our customers. And with this, I would like to conclude this session. Thank you for being with us. And now it's time for the live Q&A panel. My colleagues are already here in the studio, and we are all very happy to answer all your questions. Just a reminder that this is the QR code that will take you to the Slido panel where you can enter all your questions, or alternatively, you can use this short web link. So with this, thank you, and now the live Q&A.